Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day, great afternoon, great night, just a great time in general. I'm having a pretty okay day today. Today I want to do a little review. I just finished Man PS4 again. I wanted to see how long it would take me to beat, but I also just haven't played really a game I've wanted to play in a while, and that was the first game I thought of. I've been playing a bunch of Marvel Rivals and just really been kind of thinking about playing Spider-Man, ironically enough. I really want to get the newer games, but I don't know if I'm gonna get a PS5 or if I'm going to buy them for PC. I'm honestly not sure. I think I'm probably gonna end up buying them for PC because I just have a bunch of games on my PC now, so who knows. But for today's review, I'm gonna do the rating and pros and cons first, and then I'm going to talk about like what I thought about how the game went along, and that's just how I'm planning to do this right now. So let's start off with what I think about it, and to be really honest, it is a fun game. It is an 8 out of 10. It could just be that my controller's a little banged up, could be that my console's a little old, could be that my TV is a little bit messed up. Could be any of these things. But honestly, there was just things. I have 3 pros and I have 3 cons. And the 3 cons, honestly, annihilate this fucking game. Because technically, there is a 4th, if you count one of the 3rd as the same thing as the other one. And they pretty much annihilate the game for me, because it kept fucking up my game so much, and it was just really upsetting me so much how often it would even happen. So it's an 8 out of 10. It was a 9 out of 10 for a bit, but honestly, I think I just can't tolerate how much the negative things kept happening in the game, because it was causing me to lose missions. It was just really frustrating. So my 3 pros. So my 3 pros are that combat is a lot of fun. It changes a lot as you get more abilities and more gadgets and stuff. It gets a lot more fun. Swinging is probably the best part of the whole game. I love just ripping through the city. I can get across the city so fast that genuinely it upsets me so much how much I am told that I am late in this fucking game. Because it's obviously that real world is happening at the same time as ours. If you say any different, I will call you a liar, because that doesn't make any sense. That would mean that the game itself is slowing its perception down for you to play it, and that's ridiculous. If I can get across New York City in 5 fucking minutes, how can this dude not? I don't get it. I web zip across New York City, and this is like tail to tail. I'm not talking like side to side. I'm talking like the whole thing. I can get across it in maybe 5 minutes. I don't understand how this dude is fucking late to everything. It is so annoying. But the graphics are spectacular. I love being able to just look at any and every part of the city, pretty much. My 3 cons are targeting, dodging, and camera. And honestly, you can add in that the things that don't register are so often. It is so fucking annoying. The dodging, I love how if you don't just like magically perfect dodge every single time, even though you're mid fucking combo, the bullets can still fucking hit you. You dodge out of the way of something, and unless you perfect dodge every little thing, you can still take damage. That is stupid. If I am out of the way of enough of the original line, why are the bullets, which are, I'm talking mainly the DLC, because I can understand the regular bullets doing that, because I know how aim moves when you're shooting a real gun, but the fucking lasers, these people are all kitted up that are shooting the laser rifles. So how in the hell are they not able to fucking keep a straight shot and are still able to fucking hit me? That's really because we wanted to take the same gaming mechanic that we used for regular guns and put it with lasers, because we couldn't have just made how actual lasers are. But the other thing is, things don't register in the game. Like, I will be registering my dodge, I will be doing a jump, and this could just be, like I said, my console, my controller, my TV, but things will just not register. I will dodge at the right time, I will hit the button at the right time to swing, to web zip. Everything will just decide, nah, fuck it, I ain't registering for that shit. Why would I do that? Why would I do that for you? No. I don't get it. And it was making me so frustrated. And especially the targeting. Why can I not actually use anything to target with? Because if you try and use your web zipper shit that allows you to target with your web gadgets, it won't target sometimes. It'll just randomly decide. You will be looking at the thing you want to, hit with it, and it will just go to the side of it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this game? And I am glad I have beaten it now and I don't have to pick it back up for a bit, because man, was that getting so frustrating to not have things properly hit. Or why are you web zipping to the person off the camera instead of the person shooting a fucking rocket at you? Or why are you not taking the baton out of the person's hand? Or why are you taking the missile launcher? It's just, it wouldn't pick the right shit to hit when I would try and do it, and it just kept happening and kept happening. The combat, besides getting shot with shit, is a lot of fun. I love yanking people up into the air. I love throwing people, webbing them up. It's just a really fun game. And the more you play it, the more you can see in the game, and the more little tricks you can find. And it's just a fun game in general, but those cons really just rock the game for me. I mean, there are other cons. So the game, up until, in my opinion at least, up until you find out that Martin Lee is Mr. Negative, is pretty, it's a decent game up until then. But once you find out that it's Martin Lee, is when the game just shoots the fuck off. It's just so funny, because then that's when Otto's arms start acting all funky, and with the neural inhibitor chip, well, it not inhibiting, it's very firmly making him crazy. And I find it so wild how quickly it just shoots off though, because after Martin Lee fully shows everyone it's him, Otto also just goes full dark mode, fully slams you into the ground, the Sinister Six get let out. He fully orchestrates that. Wait, I don't remember if Martin Lee does or if Otto does. Either one of them does. But they start working in cahoots. They get the Sinister Six. But the game, up until then, just straight up goes Kingpin, Shocker. That's it. I mean, you fight some of Mr. Negative's crew and stuff like that, but it's really nothing until you find out that he is Mr. Negative, which doesn't even happen until I think you're 50% through the campaign, depending on what you have done. It could be less, and I just say it's 50% because I like to complete all the little areas. So I'm not 100 there, but the game after that is pretty much just you, well, up until then, is you fighting different criminals. There's no villains. And that's kind of frustrating to me, because I remember in the older Spider-Man games that there were tons of villains all the time, and the villains were the big focus of the game. And honestly, I felt like Spider-Man was the big focus of this game more than anything. Because, I mean, of course, it's a Spider-Man game, but I feel like, I don't know. Because even Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the OG Sam Raimi games, they even felt like they were more about the villain than Spider-Man PS4 does. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong because, like, Oscorp isn't everything. Maybe I don't know. My two asides for the game that I think are the most random additions, and this is before, so I will talk about the ending part to the game because that's pretty much where it feels like we're even at. The two asides I have is that Taskmaster and Tombstone feel like the single-handedly most random fucking characters to add to this game. I don't know if anyone else felt that, but it really felt like the most random characters to have in this game. Like, yes, Tombstone is one of Spider-Man's villains, and very famously one of his OG villains, but he still just felt so random, because you straight up finish his series, or his missions, in 6 missions, and that's it. But I don't know if you watched the OG show like I did, like the OG cartoon. He's in a movie or an episode for like the whole thing, and he's way more important, and there's so much more that happens, and in this one he's just, I'm a biker gang. Yeah, which I was like, what is happening? And Taskmaster I just don't know that much about, and to be honest, the most that I know about him is that he occasionally deals with Spider-Man, but more so deals with the Avengers. But I could be wrong there. So we get to the Sinister Six. They've all started enacting a plan to release Devil's Breath, which is this material that made Mr. Negative and did a bunch of other things. It was originally made to cure Harry, and you don't find that out until midway through the game, if not after the game. Yeah. But it's not important when you find out that it's for Harry. What's important is that you find out that this thing created Martin Lee, and as soon as you figure it out, it's like, oh, so we already know Osborn is bad. Like, if you know anything about Spider-Man, you know Osborn is bad. But when you find out that he's the one that made this thing that's now going to kill a shitload of people, and basically all he does is go, oh, you know how I'm the mayor of my town? Well, to protect my city, I'm going to bring in fucking martial law. I'm going to bring in a giant U.S., well, not even U.S. force, a force to occupy my city now and control my city, and I'm going to let them do whatever I want because I'm such a great guy. There is so much that if Spider-Man just paid attention to for like 5 seconds, shit in the DLC wouldn't have happened, or at least wouldn't have happened the way that it does. And just so much wouldn't happen if this dude was just better at keeping track of things. And I know we want to be like, Spider-Man really cares, but like, how much do you really care when you let the cop you constantly work with spiral out and to start killing people? How can you constantly control your girlfriend instead of literally realizing that she is strong enough to handle a lot because she keeps doing it? How long is it gonna take to realize that Black Cat is literally smarter than you? Like, the amount of things that if this dude spent like 5 seconds, you know, while he's web zipping through the city, he could literally be like, well, Doc Ock is doing a lot of this really kind of shady shit. I'm not with my aunt that much, but this guy who's always running the facility is really dipping out and kind of acting weird and has always not really liked Oscorp. And I don't know, I'm noticing a lot of like these Asian masks, and I know this Asian art collector who also happens to be the owner of a company my aunt works for. Like literally, if he just sat there for 5 seconds, he could literally put the whole story together, help people, and it just feels more like he's just trying to band-aid everything instead of actually fixing everything. So Devil's Breath gets found and taken by Martin Lee initially, and then Doc Ock comes in and takes it and pretty much takes out Mr. Negative. And because Doc Ock really becomes the real villain because he ends up releasing Devil's Breath. He really just wants to get back at Oscorp and Osborn, but instead of just literally going after him legally, the guy's like, I'm gonna try and kill you or make a sham of you, but that doesn't even happen. Like, Otto literally gets taken over by his work, and just, if Peter was a better friend and cared about people better in his personal life and took Uncle Ben's words better, then I think not only Spider-Man would be better, but the world would also. But the end of the game, after Devil's Breath gets released, you find out that Otto knew the whole fucking time, because in the beginning of the game, you got into a fight that left your suit all fucked up, and Otto helped you kind of fix it. And that's when you get your actual cool suit that's in the beginning of the game, fun fact. But he basically knew you were fucking Spider-Man the whole time. But, you know, it's really funny how even you as the player, not even just Peter, also kind of fall into that, because when he first writes the little letter, he's like, oh, I see you're working for that spider dude. And it's like, okay, yeah, he knew. But it's so funny that you get wrapped up in everything that you don't even realize that he knew. And Otto says Peter, and Peter just goes, you knew, and is about to fuck this dude up. And it's just the ultimate smackdown, because not only is his aunt dying, but the city is dying, and Otto just doesn't care. He thinks he is doing the right thing. And you know, I guess because he has his arms, you know, he has power, and power corrupts absolutely, but come on, man. There's legitimately nothing that could have. I don't understand a guy as smart as Otto being like, you know what, to make Oscorp look like the bad guy, I'm going to kill everyone. You know how dumb that is? You're not proving a point. In fact, you're proving that you are the crazy one. That in fact, because now Oscorp is going to help fix the thing you fucked up, because they have the original designs, you dipshit. Like, people don't think. People just act, and it's so dumb. You gotta think before you do the dumb thing, and then you won't do the dumb thing. And the final moments of the game is pretty much you being told, oh yeah, you can either save your aunt or kill the whole fucking city. Pick, fucker. And it's like, I mean, you obviously don't get to pick, but holy shit if you did. I mean, imagine that. I still would pick to save the city, but imagine that dark side. It wouldn't even change the game, really. All that would really happen is the city would die, I bet. I don't think it would spread. So that's pretty much it for the game. But for the DLCs, I'm just going to give them a whole, because they're all a collective same one. They are all a series for Hammerhead, which is, in my opinion, just Tombstone as the head of a gang instead of the head of a biker gang. It's literally the difference. They both have thick skulls, and that's pretty much their big differences. I mean, Tombstone has thicker skin, but Tombstone also headbutts people, so we're not going there, because Tombstone's also in the first DLC, which is so dumb. Anyways, the DLCs altogether are pretty fun, The only problems I have with them is, like I was saying about, like, with Yuri, is that if Spider-Man just sat there for a second and actually helped her, I don't think she would have killed, if not tried to kill Hammerhead, and then I don't think she would have actually killed people at the end of the Silver Lining, which is the final DLC, because genuinely she is just a lost detective that has seen a lot happen, and if you actually had helped her, she may have just retired instead of going on a killing spree, because she actually seemed like she was, if not did, trust you. So it's just, Spider-Man, sit down, talk to people, stop running away from everything, or running to things by running away from everything. But that's my big review for the game. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's still gonna be an 8 out of 10 until I play it again. Maybe if I play it on PS5 or PC, it'll be better. But until then, that's my thoughts on the game, and I hope you guys have a good night, good day, or good afternoon. Peace.